One of the biggest things that I hope the customer always remembers is that we care. We care about what they do. We care about their mission. We want them to make that mission just like they do.
It's Paul McCleary with Breaking Defense here at AUSA 2019 here with Troy Gaffey of AVX, talking about the FARA program. So sir, if you could walk us through what your company is adding onto the program, what you're bringing to the Army that you think is really most critical in getting after this kind of future lift and future combat aircraft.
Well, our concept provides speed, range, and lifting capability. So the aircraft is designed with a coaxial rotor, which maximizes the lift capability and the payload. And it has a wing to unload the main rotor. About 50% of the weight of the aircraft is carried on the wing at high speed and 50% on the rotor. The fans provide all the propulsive force so that the rotor does not have to do that. It's a more efficient way of getting propulsion. And that's what gives us the speed.
How critical is speed here for what the Army is looking for? And how difficult was it to reach the speeds that they're looking for? I know they want to go faster with this aircraft.
Yeah, they have a threshold speed of 180 knots for cruising and a desired speed of over 200 knots for a penetrating air defense system. And basically the aircraft has to minimize its exposure to the enemy's detection system and weapons. So that's where speed pays off. And the other aspect of it is to be able to operate very low, nap of the earth, and thereby avoid radar detection.
And what are some of the trickiest problems that you found in trying to meet all of the Army's requirements here, like fitting speed, protection, stealth, and there's some autonomy?
It's the same one that's always prevalent in a helicopter or vertical lift aircraft, and that is weight. Because you have several thousand pounds of desired payload, you have a MEP, a mission equipment package of avionics to allow you to aviate, communicate, navigate, and this is, in addition, in a world of cyber warfare, gets pretty tricky. So we ended up with a max weight somewhere around 14,000 pounds, a little less than that, and a maximum range, a radius of action that exceeds their 135 nautical mile radius.
Okay. And how much of a factor is trying to avoid electronic attacks from a potential enemy or jamming, and having all this new technology on an aircraft while still protecting it and being able to network with the rest of the Army? Because multi-domain operations obviously is kind of going in the realm now. So how does this fit into that operational picture?
Well, it's certainly going to fit in because of the magnitude of the systems that are installed in the aircraft. But quite frankly, it's going to really penetrate a peer level air defense system. You're probably going to have to turn most of the emitting devices off.
And then you have to rely on pilot competence and redundancy in the systems, right?
Right.
Yeah. And how much punch does this helicopter pack? If you're getting after an enemy, peer enemy or otherwise, it's obviously see the.
Well, it's got a 20 millimeter cannon, rapid rate of fire, about 1,500 rounds per minute. Carries a weapons load of somewhere around 500 rounds. In addition, internally it can carry Hellfire missiles, or more modern versions of missiles. And in the long future, it can carry air-launched UAVs to do their own thing.
And how would the pilots in this aircraft communicate with soldiers on the ground, or UAVs, or really get into the multi-domain operations? How would they network in with the rest of the force?
Well, I think that's getting off into an area where we can't talk.
Okay. And so, what do you think about your offering that gives you guys an edge over some of the other companies here?
Well, I think our configuration meets the speed, range, payload desired capabilities. And the other is we have a low-cost philosophy. So we believe our offering will be probably the lowest cost configuration.
And is there anything else about this aircraft that you think is really unique, or that you're really excited about, or perhaps in some of the testing maybe even surprised you a little bit about some of the capabilities that you developed here that you said, that's pretty cool?
Well, the integration of the cockpit to reduce the pilot's workload has a fly-by-wire flight control system so that we can do advanced adaptive controls where you can do, you have battle damage, you can change the arrangement of the control system to get the result you want, and that'll give you better survivability.
Okay. And so would the crew be able to see while they're flying the plane what battle damage is on the aircraft in front of them, and be able to, accommodate for that, or at least be more aware of what's happening with the aircraft?
Well, they would be aware
Right.
of battle damage. If, for example, if you lost a fan, you would notice it unless you take action to minimize it. You'd have to initiate it that you had damage, what the location is.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how is the handoff between manned flight and some autonomous operations on the aircraft? I mean, can you toggle back and forth between someone flying the aircraft or using some of the autonomous capabilities?
You can.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. In fact, the pilot, and some of this is still in development, but really you'd like to have an aircraft that flies autonomously, even though it has a crew there, eyeballs on the terrain and so on, performing the reconnaissance mission, and also having a low workload. And if you imagine this, flying this very close to the treetops at high speed at night.
Right.
You want something that knows where it's going, and
Right.
you're not stressing the pilot out.
Right. And so this would kind of decrease pilot workload or fatigue, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your time, sir. Have a great show. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Pleasure.